This is Emma, and I'm going to tell you about #Progress, Depictions of ALS treatment on Twitter. Thanks to the James and Jeanie Brown ALS Fund for their support. People with ALS use the internet and social media to find health information. Twitter is attractive because the 140-character limit and multimedia are accessible to people using augmented and alternative communication to interact with the information they find. We collected over 22,000 tweets over 6 years. 5 categories were derived in a sample of about 1,000 tweets: drug therapies, supportive care, end of life, cannabis, and general treatment. Over 85% of tweets focus on drug therapies and supportive care. We further characterized the information about ALS treatments in the pilot sample using content analysis. We identified themes such as progress, technology, and cannabis and applied these themes to the full sample of treatment-related tweets. 94% of drug therapy tweets cover specific novel therapies or ideas about expanded access, drug approvals, drug development, and clinical trials. These tweets are often hopeful or portray the novel therapies as possible cures. Technology was a major theme in the tweets about supportive care. New technologies are portrayed as liberating and another source of hope. Just as many tweets focus on one story about a mobility van for a man in the UK. This highlights a characteristic of Twitter content we'll return to. Progress is a major theme that we identified across all treatment categories. Progress appears in just over half of all tweets, or most of drug therapy's tweets, and a third of supportive care. Thematically, most novel therapies and technology tweets discuss progress, in contrast to only 6% of Riluzole and non-tech-related supportive care tweets. What does this mean? Misconception exists when individuals mistake research participation for treatment. Twitter erases the difference between potential treatments and proven treatments. This can feed unrealistic expectations and drown out information about current standard treatment. Back to the wheelchair van tweets. Who is sharing this story over and over again, and what can that tell us about treatment information on Twitter? We did a user analysis to find out. There are many user groups, but the largest group is laypeople, or accounts that don't indicate association with the ALS community. Laypeople frequently tweet or retweet easy-to-share content like petitions or news. This means that they are susceptible to soundbites that come from journalists, advocates, or researchers, for example, the mobility van petition. So, information that is shared isn't necessarily the most relevant to the needs of people with ALS, just the most easily shareable. Where does this leave us in the ALS community? Clinicians can help people with ALS navigate Twitter. A lot of information on Twitter is about new and exciting progress that might not directly impact people with ALS. It's important to consider whose tweets are reliable. Clinicians can offer advice on reliable accounts. Researchers provide information that can reverberate across Twitter. We should tailor how we communicate with the public to prevent unrealistic hype. It's important to be aware that studies are often shared with no context and turned into clickbait. Thanks!